वेलकम बैक एवरीवन। ट्रेड विद करण में आपका फिर से स्वागत है। सो इन द लास्ट वीडियो वी हैव डिस्कस्ड हाउ टू आइडेंटिफाई द ट्रेंड ऑफ द मार्केट यूजिंग सप्लाई एंड डिमांड जोन, and in this today's video we'll see what is entry zone and what should be my stop loss and what should be my target if I'm using supply and demand zone concept. So first let's make it clear that each zone is having two components. So one component is my proximal line, which is the topmost line of the box or the demand zone which you have created, and this zone should be created in such a way that it touches the top of the wick and bottom of the wick of the base candle. Okay, so whatever is the high of that zone is my entry point, and that is termed as proximal line, and whatever is the ending of this zone or the lower part of the wick, we call it as a distal line or stop loss, or we can also say exit of the zone. Okay, so now target is my opposite side supply zone or demand zone. So now we are in a 5-minute time frame. So if this was my entry, 5-minute demand zone was my entry, then 5-minute supply zone should be my exit. Okay, so by that we are following each and every rule of supply and demand zone trading. So now let's see with a live example. So in this chart you can see we have formed a demand zone over here. Okay, so this is my entry point. If it comes over here, this is my stop loss value, and this example is from the previous video itself. So now we also have a second demand zone which is having one proximal line and one distal line or entry point or the stop loss. So the market came into this zone. We have entered at our proximal line somewhere around here, 22,920 sorry, and keeping in mind that 22,870 or 860 or something like that should be my stop loss, which is this particular range. So now we have to see our target. So our target is the opposite side supply zone. So for that also we will aim for the proximal line of the supply zone as our target, because we never know if the orders in the supply zones are really heavy. So we might see a quick reversal from there. So now let's see how we identify or how we make a trade plan or a checklist kind of thing, so that we make sure that we enter into a right zone. So for example, I can say this is also one zone, this is also a one zone. Why did we skip these zones? This is also one zone. So based on the trade checklist, we'll come to know which zone is our real order flow zone and which zone we have to neglect it. So all these things will be covered in the next video, but let's quickly summarize what we have learned till now. The top part of this demand zone or supply zone, or let's say in the demand zone, is our entry point. The bottom part of our demand zone is our stop loss, and opposite side supply zone is my target. Okay, so this much should be clear from this video, and we'll see you in the next video, and we'll come up with the new trade plan. And thank you everyone for joining.